This is a KREM 2 Weather Impact Alert.
And welcome in, everybody, to this KREM 2 Plus exclusive live stream. I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick, and we have a weather impact alert day for this upcoming Sunday as our next fall storm system is going to arrive and give us rain and windy conditions all throughout the inland northwest. Now, the difference this time around compared to our last couple cold fronts has been the wind speeds are likely going to be a little bit stronger this time around, forecasting wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour to go along with, of course, the widespread rain, the drop in temperatures, and it just kind of being in the weekend in general. So that will probably just make us plan around the weather a little bit more. Let's take a 10,000 view snapshot of what's going to happen across the northwest for this weekend. It's actually a pair of low pressure centers, and this one that moves into British Columbia is going to provide that rain and wind along with that big cold front heading into Sunday. So it hits the west side on Saturday and then the inland northwest on Sunday, and that's why Sunday is going to be the far windier and wetter of these next 2 days. So if you got any outdoor plans, Saturday's looking totally fine, and then Sunday, that's probably your indoor plan kind of day. So here we go with our weather impact alert day. I'm thinking the hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., just right smack in the middle of the day on Sunday, are going to be affected by both the rain and the wind. And again, the wind being the priority here. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, at least at some point during that time frame, not during the entire 12 hours there. As for what you need to know is, yes, just plan some indoor activities, but just clean up the front and backyard of any loose objects that might get blown around. These wind speeds are not strong enough to cause any wind damage or cause any power outages, but enough to be just enough of a nuisance and an inconvenience for us, especially if you leave any basketballs out in the front yard. Those will probably get blown away by those feisty winds. Let's time this out and go hour by hour, because the rain could start as early as almost midnight on Sunday morning, but most of the rainfall is going to be later in those morning hours, probably between about 6 a.m. and the noon hour, with some scattered showers later on. So that's why I use these red tiles to indicate the most likely rainfall late morning, right around noon, and then green would be less of a chance for rain. So that would be super early in the morning and then much later into the evening hours. As for the winds, they will start to steadily increase through the morning hours and then just stay in that 20 to 40 mile per hour range through most of the late morning and then early afternoon hours. There will be little peaks of some heavier wind as that storm front does progress. All right, back to that big picture view. This is the storm I've been watching, and then in the last 48 hours, it has started to pick up speed. The only thing right now is that this storm is actually quite small in terms of its size and scale, but it's going to pick up a boost from that sister low pressure area that's over the Gulf of Alaska, the North Pacific. This has a lot more energy and a lot colder air attached to it. So almost this bean-shaped air mass of cooler air will start to merge in with this other storm system as it continues to press northeastward towards Washington and British Columbia. So these two storm systems kind of working in tandem with one another to give us the impacts of that cooler, wetter, and windier day for this upcoming Sunday. So again, that feels like the game plan, the roadmap for what these storm systems are doing around the northwest. Now we take you to that localized view. This is Future Tracker, our computer model simulation of when that rain is set to be around the area. It tries to simulate what Doppler radar is going to look like. I'm actually going to start on Saturday morning. This is 7 a.m. and we see little spots of rain that are trying to pass by the area. What's that? That's actually the warm front. So that's the first push of warmer air early in the morning on Saturday. It could squeeze out a little bit of light rain, but not nearly enough to change any outdoor plans for the day. Saturday is very warm, and even the afternoon turns sunny. So that's why Saturday is the good-to-go day for outdoor plans. Sunday is the different story. This is when the cold front starts to advance forward. Here's 5 a.m., already starting to see the rain move into northern and central Washington at first. That gets closer to Spokane, closer to 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So late morning, now we start to see the onset of this rain across eastern Washington. And look at this, extending from north to south, all across the inland northwest. That's wide this widespread batch of rain has been something we've seen with all of our other cold fronts so far this month. So we're going to get a couple hours worth of rainfall as that progresses through. That's the cold front passage right in the middle of the day. Here we go at 1 p.m. Looks like we're just starting to see the end of the rain, that widespread batch of rain in Spokane, but it continues into North Idaho. We're not done yet. Remember how those tiles extended past just the midday hours? Here's 5 p.m. on Sunday evening. There are still some scattered showers that will pop up even behind the cold front. So our rain chances never hit zero, but they're definitely going to be most likely right in the middle of the day, likely surrounding that noon hour. So 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. is most likely the 4 hours that we're going to get rainfall in Spokane. It'll be earlier for central Washington and then later for North Idaho, and then scattered showers just kind of about that range that we see there. So that's the rainfall. Now we switch over to the wind speed layer, because this is why I've called for the weather impact alert day, because our wind speeds are going to be decently strong almost all day long. Our modeling has the strongest winds right at the point of attack of that rainfall. This is 10 a.m. You see this little purple shade over the Palouse close to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene? That would be wind speeds up to 40 miles per hour. Now, it's just a brief moment because our model later in the day does back off those wind speeds. Now, different computer models say different things in terms of the timing. So I do think that these wind speeds will generally be around 20, 30 miles per hour most of the day, and then we'll just peak up towards 40 miles per hour at some point, either morning or evening hours. That's why I'll just keep that forecast for the morning and the afternoon pretty much the same in terms of the wind speeds that you see on Sunday. So here's the weekend in total. To reference again, Saturday is actually looking great, despite a very early morning chance of some showers or almost sprinkles. The rest of the day is sunny and very warm. Easily the warmest day of the upcoming forecast here at 65 degrees in Spokane before the cold front arrives on Sunday. As you saw, widespread rain is likely for at least a handful of hours, and the wind speeds will be between about 25 and up to 40 miles per hour. It very much is worth noting that Saturday is warm. So if you were considering doing something outdoors like pumpkin patching on either Saturday or Sunday, my recommendation is absolutely Saturday here. 65 in Spokane and 61 in Coeur d'Alene, even 65 in Pullman for Saturday's high temperatures. It does drop right back into the 50s on Sunday. So here's your last recap of this forecast for the weather impact day on Sunday. Widespread morning and midday rainfall, and then some PM scattered showers in terms of the rain. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Not enough to do any damage, but enough to be inconvenient. It'll drop some more leaves and pine needles on the ground, stuff like that. Just a reminder to just clean up any loose objects that you might have in the front or the backyard so they don't blow away at the end of the day. So that's all that you should need to know for this upcoming Sunday's forecast and our weather impact alert day there. You got the heads up that Saturday is definitely the better of the 2 days this weekend, as our temperatures, they do boost into the 60s on Saturday, go back into the 50s on Sunday, and it's pretty much near normal as we head towards Halloween. I've been meteorologist Thomas Patrick, and this has been your exclusive KREM 2 Plus live weather stream. You can always follow us on social media and, of course, watch any of our newscasts live for the latest updates on your weather forecast. Have a great Friday, everyone.
This has been a KREM 2 Weather Impact Alert. Keep it right here on KREM 2 for updated weather impact information and get immediate weather impact alerts on the KREM 2 app.